Alrighty, so we are going to be going over Spot Check, which is our project, and it is about how we can make parking easier for people. So we will go ahead and go through. My name is Bradley Bruce. I'm a senior here at UC. My major is information technology, and I'm in the software development track, so I'll be graduating in less than a week.
My name is Kai Dragomir. I'm a sophomore. I'm double majoring in IT, and I'm on the cybersecurity track, and I'm also taking philosophy.
I'm Kinsey. I'm a sophomore. I'm a communication major with a current minor in IT, soon to be marketing, focusing on branding. I also have a certificate in professional communication and research.
So our initial initial project idea was an app on our phone that would essentially be able to tell us where available parking spots are, which it would detect through using UI through the cameras, and it would give directions using Google's AI and API system. Sorry. Our initial project idea, as mentioned, there's essentially a central UI, and the backend holds all the information, and the admin controls all the settings behind the underworkings of it.
All right, so I'm going to be going through our life cycle and how we were able to develop this project. So the first thing we did was we needed to understand the needs of our potential users. So one way we did this is we conducted an interview with Kendra Violet, who is the director of parking services at UC. So we were able to get in contact with her and have her answer some of our questions on how the university currently handles their parking situation, how they're able to set out parking spots for individual students, and things like that. After that, we actually collected data in the field. So we went out at the UC Claremont branch, and we were able to write down times of when the lot was filling up, when it was a little bit more empty, when people would have to search for parking a little bit more thoroughly. And then after we gathered all that data, we were able to analyze it and develop a WAD from our notes from the field. So that's the kind of the first thing we did. From there, we began our design solutions. So we kind of began developing how we wanted the app to feel, how we want it to look. And you can see here we've got a diagram of how a user would be able to sign in, sign up. They'd be able to find parking locations, add a location if they were en route to somewhere else. They would be able to check times of when that lot would be busy, just like we gathered from that data earlier. And they would be able to, throughout this process, find a parking spot that they could park their car in. From there, we began prototyping our candidates. So this was a process that we kind of went back and forth with. We began with this more simple wireframe of just how we wanted it to look, some small ideas we wrote down, just kind of what we wanted to feel like and things like that. From there, we were able to move on to a more sophisticated prototype like this, where it's still a wireframe, but it has a lot more stuff going on. It has a lot more detail on how we want individual components of the application to work. And how we want it to feel for the user. And then we were able to ultimately end up with one of our final prototypes, which looks something like this. So this is actually a direct improvement of the previous slide's wireframe. We were able to build this in Bootstrap, and this is on just a website that the user would be able to access and view different cameras. This is actually from an admin portal webpage, so not the actual user finding parking lots, but the user that would be setting up parking lots and administering stuff like that. And then from there, we evaluated the UX. So this kind of went in tangent with the prototyping. So we would use focus groups and questionnaires to gather insight on how they liked different prototypes, what they didn't like. And then we would make small changes, and we'd come back to our focus groups, and we'd see how they felt about those changes, if they liked A versus B. And we just kept working backwards from that.
So I'm going to go into talking about how all four of the parts of the life cycle are critical in creating a finished product. This is mainly because through the cycle, we are essentially trying to solve a problem. And I think that's why the UX cycle is most important. It aims to fulfill the user needs and provide positive experiences for the user that in turn drive user loyalty. And iterative design has helped us immensely when improving design, because we were able to go back through our surveys, find what the users needed, wanted, and expected out of our app, and make those changes. And UX design is a critical part in curating a positive and successful environment for product users. As I stated before, it is a major part in driving consumer loyalty. And how the project changed for us is that at the beginning, we assumed that the users would want to see as much information as possible. In actuality, we found that the ease of use and instinctive control of the application is much more important. What they really want to see is its functionality. What they really want to see is how it benefits them, and how easily they can go through our product to find the solution to their problem. So in stressful situations like attempting to find parking, they want to be able to accomplish their goal as quickly as possible. With the UX design, again, its major function is to solve an issue with strategic planning in order to develop a solution for the user. And the main things that we learned from this is that the way we view interactions between users and systems is much more complex than we would think on the technical side, on our design side, and how to effectively flow through the design process in terms of delivery and execution. So I think without learning the proper steps to fulfill the user needs, we wouldn't have realized how technical it can be inside, and how much of a difference our work has made in being able to provide the satisfaction for the user. Visual communication is a major key in the success rate. So that's one of the major takeaways that we have learned being UX designers, as it is all about visual communication. And then in the end, we also learned that collaboration is essential for a good working team. I think that if we all did not have kind of like personalities, we probably would not have functioned so well, and we were all driven at the same rate. So I think what we learned has been a big takeaway for all of us with the class, and then also working as a team.
Perfect. Thank you so much for watching our presentation. Have a good rest of your evening.